All right, good morning. Welcome, everyone. And I also want to especially thank Council Members Lamb and Plomin for being here with us today. And Councilmember Lamb, you're in front of a very active screen, which is now a nice blue horse.
Okay, as long as it doesn't.
I also want to welcome Phil Maxson from Lexington History Tours and Foster Ackerman Jr. from the Lexington History Museum. And before we go any farther, I want to thank Mary Quinn Raymer for having us at the wonderful Visitors Center. Visit Lex. Lexington has a complex, fascinating 244-year history that touches all of us every day. And sometimes we're surprised to learn that we walk where the giants of history have walked. Thanks to Lex History Tours and the Lexington History Museum, we are going to take a special look into really exciting pieces of our history. Exciting because they involve Abraham Lincoln and Henry Clay, two giants of our local and national history. We're going to explore the relationship between Lincoln and Clay and with Lexington during a special celebration called Lincoln Days, November 20th through the 24th. This is the second year for this celebration and the first time we've expanded it to a week of activities. A number of local organizations have combined to put together a really interesting week of activities with something for everyone. Phil, thank you so much for organizing Lincoln Days, and I'd like to ask you to tell us just a little bit more about the week's activities.
Thank you, Mayor. We're excited to recognize and celebrate the significant history of Lexington by noting the importance of Lexington and Lexingtonians to the life of Abraham Lincoln. So we're going to have these Lexington Lincoln Days this year from November 20th through the 24th. And it's a really exciting event here, and we hope to get people really interested in history and get excited about Lexington and our own history, which is very complex, but it's very interesting. So the dates are November 20th through the 24th. The theme, again, is Henry Clay's influence on Abraham Lincoln. And the programs are going to start on Wednesday night, the 20th, at the Kentucky Theater. We're going to have a showing of the 1940 classic movie starring Raymond Massey of Abe Lincoln in Illinois. There are Kentuckians and Lexingtonians referenced in this movie, and we'll probably discuss that a little bit before the movie starts that night. The next day, on Thursday the 21st, we're going to be at the Lexington Public Library at the Farish Theater here on Main Street here in downtown. At 6 o'clock, we're going to have a video of Lincoln's youth in Kentucky done by my friend Kent Brown's company, Witnessing History. We're going to follow that with a distinguished professor, John Kleber, Dr. John Kleber, and he's going to give the address on Henry Clay's influence on Lincoln, which I think you'll find is considerable. And on Friday, the 22nd, at Ashland, they're going to have tours that day. They're going to be specifically adding Lincoln information during the tours, but at 1:30, they're going to have a specific tour led by Eric Brooks, who's the curator at Ashland, specifically more information about Lincoln and Clay. And on Saturday, that's the 23rd, from 10 until 2, right here at the Visit Lex Visitor Center, we're going to have a lot of activities that are going to be a lot of fun. And I think probably the first thing and the most important is we were able to get the exhibit of Lincoln's actual pocket watch, which is going to be exhibited in this room that day. And that is the watch that Steven Spielberg, sound engineer, sent an engineer to Frankfurt to record that actual ticking of that watch, which is used in the movie of Lincoln. So this was his actual watch. I think it's it's real cool to be able to get it here. We're also going to have the Kentucky Historical Society's traveling Lincoln exhibit is going to be here. We're going to have a downtown tour, a short downtown tour specifically related to Lincoln. We're going to have some Civil War reenactors, and we're going to have activities for kids. The Lexington Explorium is going to be here. You know, Callie Turner is back in the back of the room here right now, but they're going to have activities for kids. And the Mary Todd Lincoln Home is going to have some life-size cutouts of Mary Todd and Abraham Lincoln. And they're going to have some clothing accessories from the 19th century that people can put on, and they have their pictures taken with Abraham and Mary Todd, which I think will be a lot of fun. We want to make this fun for kids as well. We want to get them involved, kids and grandkids. And we also want to mention, thanks to Julie, and we're going to have some of Lincoln's famous white cake, the white almond pound cake, which has gotten to be very famous. We're going to have some of that here. That is, Mary Todd got the recipe from Guéron's Confectionery, which is over on Mill Street, about a block from here. But that was his favorite, and so we're going to have some of that for the people to get here early enough on Saturday morning. So anyway, that's from 10 until 2. And the last day is the 24th of November, which is on a Sunday at Second Presbyterian Church. We're going to have read Lincoln's second inaugural, which personally I think is the greatest speech in American history, at both services, at this 8:30 service and 11 o'clock service. And during the forum between the two services, we're going to have a discussion about the second inaugural. That is to commemorate Lincoln's visit to Second Presbyterian Church on November 25th of 1847. So we've got a lot of activities, and we want to make this fun and educational, and we want to get kids involved. We want to get kids excited about history as well. So if you need some more information, you can go to lexhistorytours.org/Lexington-Lincoln-Day. And we'll have all the information on there. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Phil. We're really fortunate to have folks like you and Foster who promote our wonderful history here. And Foster, thank you again, and I'd like to ask you to tell us more about the History Museum's involvement in Lincoln Days. Foster Ackerman, Jr.
The mission of the Lexington History Museum is to tell Lexington's story to everyone, every way. Thank you, Mayor, for your assistance, Susan and Kathy, for your support. And I want to thank Phil Maxson again for his extraordinary work in pulling together this 5-day festival of Abraham Lincoln in Lexington. This is another way we tell Lexington's story. We began with Phil last year when it was a 1-day event. It has expanded to a 5-day event. It is going to be an annual event in Lexington as we explore more and more what Abraham Lincoln did and means to Lexington. Phil has described it, told you where to find the details. I particularly look forward to Lincoln's pocket watch returning to Lexington for the first time in over 100 years. So we hope to see you during Lexington Lincoln Days. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're also looking forward to some of that cake, right?
Yes.
It's probably aged pretty well. Now it's my pleasure to present this Lincoln Days proclamation. I, Linda Gorton, Mayor of Lexington, in celebration of Abraham Lincoln and the special relationship between our city and our 16th president, the husband of Lexington native Mary Todd Lincoln, do hereby declare November 20th through the 24th, 2019, Lincoln Days in Lexington. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's get a picture. We'll get a photo. Okay. Thank you all so very much, and we will anticipate November and Lincoln Days. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.